There's dogs. Of course, as soon as they go live, stuff hits the fan. All right, so as soon as I go live, then everything hits the fan. But okay, we're gonna keep going. So that's what happens when your wife doesn't warn you she's coming home. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about the BAFTA award controversy, where a guy with Tourette's dropped the hard R N bomb, and you get pearl clutching. And I'm honestly gonna say from both sides, the discussion has been about this man's disability, whether or not one side is attacking him for his disability, whether or not another side is holding him responsible for his wording, and maybe he should apologize, whether it's a health issue or not. I will say somebody with a chronic issue, saying that just because we have a chronic illness or some issue, you should never apologize in public for how it can bother or be a pain in the butt for others is stupid. And I think that's dumb. My own issue causes some public issue problems, and I've apologized at times. It's not because I don't know, there's not anything I can do about it, but it's just simple. We live in a culture together. Let's be a little civil and just say sorry. Even if you have to tell them, hey, I can't do anything about it. Here's the reason why. There's nothing wrong with apologizing or letting people know, at the very least, maybe bring awareness to an issue. But the big discussion has been over his disability and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I think the bigger discussion is over the, oh my God, the N-word, where you get the pearl clutching from black people and leftists over the, oh my God, the worst word ever. It's funny, and my problem is I don't want to hear, I do not want to hear any black person bitch about the N-word when it is used, not daily, not hourly, but minutely, in my country and multiple others, by black people, ad nauseum, and not in just nice ways. Now, what's up, my N-word? Now, what's up, nipper? See, that's the problem. I'm not even allowed to say it here. It is stupid. But they can. And it's over perceived problems of history from long, long ago, where the black people alive never had to live under that. The white people alive today never had anything to do with that word. So it is stupid that anybody, I don't care, black, white, are held to some idiocy over the N-word being so horrid. And by the way, if it's so horrid, I will bring it to any leftist or black person. If it's so horrid, why do black people use it ad nauseum? I don't want to hear this, taking back the power of the word. No, they call each other that ad nauseum, and not just in a good way. That dumb N-word, you stupid N-word, F you N-word, I capped that N-word. And then they walk around and use it for white people, Hispanic people, Asian people. That is racist. Either it's a word anybody can use or nobody can use. If you are in America and believe in true freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences, but true freedom of speech, everybody must be talking, must be able to use the same words. In America right now, and I know what you're going to say, but in America right now, Asian people don't get to use that word. Most Hispanics don't even, some don't care to do it anyway. White people don't get to. How is that freedom of speech for all when only one group can say honestly what they want, but then use other words to silence everybody else? Bryce, how's it going? Bryce Cashett. If I get it wrong, sorry. Anderson, I don't know how to go with the rest of that. Lucid Dreamer, what are you talking about, uncle? Whatever that means. Okay. Is that going to be some boomer joke? Which I'm not a boomer, but okay. It's just simple, honest freedom of speech and equality. We have it or we don't. And there goes one person, probably already. You are a Okay. So there's a leftist. When you get the lefties in, That's what they do, name call. Don't even engage with my discussion or my questions. Why is it okay for one group to ad nauseum use the word, including as a slur, against other people their own color or white people? It's either a good word for everybody or not. And the pearl clutching, like I said, the N word dropped at the BAFTA. You can argue about his Tourette's all day and everything else, and they should have known what could have happened. Leaving him near an open mic was stupid. But I think the bigger discussion is the actual word itself and the pearl clutching over it. Pearl clutching by a lot of people who use it when they feel like. Hell, even the Hodge twins have used it on purpose on social media to prove the point. See, they can do it. Yet the white creator they're working with can't mutter that and has to sit there and go, oh, good God. Yeah. And then even people who want to say, oh, though it's just a word. We're giving this word too much power. Then turn around themselves and cover their own ass. But I would never say that. I don't want to use that word. But we're giving the word too much power. You, by saying that, just gave the word more power. You are helping that word maintain its power. But, oh my God, but I would never want to ever use that. So, yeah. So, Primal Screams, if you don't know what a leftist is, feel free to go educate for yourself. And honestly, a leftist would be different to everybody out there because it depends on where you are on the so-called spectrum, the spectrum of where you stand on public, social, and political issues. What I may call a leftist, you may not. Depends where you are on things. So, hey, Wesley, big love from the UK. Dude, oh man, you guys. this BAFTA thing over in the UK, Piers Morgan whining about it and stuff. He should be paying more attention to what's going on in your country with the freedom of the movement of your people. Also, apologize for my breathing. It's worse than normal. I haven't done any treatment for my lungs most of the day, so apologize. Lucid, everyone uses it. Well, not really. If I say that right here, I can be taken down on YouTube. Yet people like Hodge twins and everybody else can drop it whenever they feel like. That is an inequality, especially in America, where you're not supposed to have that inequality. But that word is somehow verboten, that somehow people of my skin tonage, even if you had to go back through my family, found we never had anything to do with slavery. In fact, the opposite forever. In fact, fought against it forever. Somehow I am still beholden to 1% of a population of my skin tonage in this country that ever once held a slave. But I'm supposed to be held to that. And black people today that were never under that slavery period, and when that word is regularly used badly, are still supposed to be able to hold it over others. That's my problem. I don't like that is done at all. And I just am trying to look for equality. I would like it, either it's bad for everybody or good for everybody. So I just thought the whole discussion was missed the point. Missed the point of the pearl clutching over it. And they still do. They use it incessantly as a lever, as a victim mentality. So that's all. One coming on here and trying to proselytize about being super intelligent. I'm asking questions. Why is that okay? And everybody I've run into from the left, what I see as the left, likes to use it as a cudgel. Or say they're regaining their power that way. What power do they have to regain? Nobody alive today was ever a slave or slave holder or whatever else. So I'm going to ask, here's a quick question. This is an honest question for everybody there. Exactly how long are black people supposed to be able to hold that word over people of Caucasian skin tonage? And how long is it white people are never supposed to be able to utter that word without being removed from a social media platform, a job, or physically attacked. And that's the other problem with this. Not, also don't get all on me about that. Why is it that black people and some white left total dinguses will physically attack you for that word? They somehow think that that word equals I can punch you. That makes no sense. Yes, black people use it everywhere in music. I know that. My wife and I were out walking our dogs. About a 7 to 8 year old child walks by us on his cell phone. Of course, I could do a stereotype here. The beeping fire alarm in the background or fire detector in the background of stereotype. Why? Maybe it's just my area, but I'd say fully 60% of black people I run into anywhere are using their phone like a goddamn walkie-talkie. Stop holding it in front of you and talking so loud. But this kid's walking down the street just spouting the N-word ad nauseum out loud. And Lucid, you're right. I can be driving down the road. Once again, I utter that word, I could get punched. Yet they can have 5,000 watts of thump-a-bump-a stereo screaming, I'm a badass N-word. I'm going to cap me an N-word. And every other word out there. Once again, colorful words, super loud, that I would get in trouble just for disturbing the peace. So there is a inequality there. So yeah. It is not, and Lucid, I'm going to disagree, it is not a cool word. They know also it's a word, haha. I can say, haha, you can't. Haha, I can call you it. Haha, you can't me. And it's not just the N-word. Black people are able to call white people every racial slur in a book without getting dropped. You can find videos online of that all the time. Chalk Demon, Casper, you name it, honky, cracker. That can be used. So there's an inequality there. I don't know what Danielle is talking about. Okay. The thing, generations change. No, they don't. This has been going on for generations now. This has been going on for a long time. There's been people discussing this ever since I was a child and before. And the younger generation is still having problems with this. So it's not going away. This is a power, it's a power thing. And then you got too many people out there who are playing into it. And whether you don't like my framing or not, the left amps this up. Worrying about this is not helping your asthma. I don't have asthma, but thank you. What I have is much, much beyond asthma. If asthma would be preferable. No, he's never said pander to those that drain and refuse to do it for themselves. Yeah. No, like I said, I'm not the perfect framer here. I'm not some professional streamer. Even a lot of the big YouTube channels you see, those guys came from a background of computer stuff, of speaking, of a lot of things where they have a background. I don't. I am genuinely honest from a blue-collar background. I'm a blue-collar worker my whole life. I didn't train nothing, as you can tell. The word should be banned, Lucid said. I don't know about banned. I don't like banned language. Now, we should, in America, we're supposed to have the freedom of speech. Freedom of consequences is one thing, not punching people, because we also have laws against that. If I use it, it bothers somebody, yeah, they can say stuff back about me. Walking up, but punching. But that's another problem we could go into if you really wanted to. We used to teach in our schools, in our nursery rhymes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Hell, it's even in Bugs Bunny cartoons. Yet now, what do you hear? Words hurt. And words are violence. You teach a child that, as soon as you disagree with them, or say a word they don't like, they feel, I've been told, that hurts them and it's violence, and they can physically punch you. Because punching hurts, words hurt. Punching is violence, words are violence, they're equal. We didn't just teach that. So I don't know about the word being banned, Lucid. But I just think personally, I just say, I'm being a little hyperbolic when I say it either should be banned for everybody or okay for everybody. I personally prefer okay for everybody. I usually lean on freedom of speech, but it should be for everybody. Yeah, Lee, buddy, yeah. I've seen the snow roach. I've seen the saltine. My favorite out there is chalk demon. That is just, that one makes me laugh. That one does make me laugh. Okay. Primal Screams. Honestly, I'm worried about food and bills, everything getting too expensive. Primal Screams. This is not me being a bigger dick than normal. Where have you been? It's been bad for a long time. I'm assuming you're an American unless you tell me otherwise. It's been bad for a long time. Once again, a certain voter block went from, in 24-hour period, went from, there's no inflation, everything's fine, nothing costs too much, to, Donald Trump, what the hell, prices are too high, 24 hours later. And Donald Trump has brought things down. May everything? No. Is it good enough? No. But you look at the price of gas now, which I argued, we had a couple guys on my streams I've argued with, the price of gas is $3.18 in New York. I'm like, what was it 2 years ago? And they just kept going, it's $3.18 in New York. What was it 2 years ago? They won't answer. But Primal, I'm with you. There's a lot of stuff that Trump needs to bring down, but Trump also needs the help of the lazy-ass Republican Congress. And I have no problem switching off of the N-word thing. I said my piece. Do you have any comments? Feel free. But Primal brings up a good topic. A very good topic. Lee, Primal, didn't need to see you on another stream. Hey, welcome. And by the way, that's good for all of you. Be out there stream hopping. Expose yourself to people a lot better than I am. Talking and seeing what's going on out there. So yeah. No, Primal, you brought up a good comment. Now we talk. It's either this or that, and I agree with you. It's freedom, then let it be. Lucid, I couldn't agree more. And honestly, and this is gonna be a partisan topic, I've been accused of being a rhino. Lee was here. Lee tried to save me. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I choose people, and I have topics that will piss off both sides. I'm what I call a uniparty disliker. I think they're uniparty. Well, yeah, I agree, Lucid, totally. Let it be. Everybody should all speak it. Yeah, Lead Chalk Demon. That's the one. That's one of the newer ones I've heard. Good debate is not open dialogue if there's no opposition. Yeah. And also if you aren't allowed to have actual open debate. So, yeah, and on YouTube, once again, in a lot of places in our world now, some people are allowed to say anything they want, do anything they want, drive down the street, by your house, by your kids, playing 5,000 watts of, N-word, 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 bitch, hoe, gonna cap you, shoot you, whatever else, say whatever they want. But if I do it, I'm in trouble. I will get issues with disturbing the peace. Lee, centrist? I don't know if I'm a centrist. I know I'm not a libertarian. Libertarians have gone out of their mind. Come at me, libertarians. There was a libertarian on Tim Pool's show the other day. And he kept arguing about, well, I don't care if other countries undercut our wages and salaries and decimate our workers and economy. Well, that's what it is to live in a free world. No, it's not. Just like Donald Trump said in his speech the other night, the first job of any government is to protect its citizens. By the way, nice job, Democrats, for totally falling into that and looking like traitorous turds. I mean, God, I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't know if you didn't quite like his framing, but his question was clear. His question was clear as hell. He just said right out, stand up if you agree. The first job of the government, this could be any government in the world, is to serve and protect its citizens, not illegal aliens. And Democrats sat there. Oh my God, you idiots. over hatred or partisan crap, you fell for it. Just all you had to do is stand up. Even if you didn't clap or anything, stood up and looked common sense. Chen, I'm not going to show that, but I have no advice for that. Don't understand what that has to do with the conversation, but thanks for chiming in. I'm going to keep that one hidden. Lucid, I'm not from USA. Oh, no, Lucid. And honestly, what the price of everything being high is not just an American problem. I got friends in the UK I talk to decently regularly. Everywhere from lower end of Britain, I always get that wrong, how they get their parts of their countries sectioned off, to around London, to Scotland and Ireland. I know plenty of people. It's not just an America problem. Costs are high. And governments in a lot of countries are not serving their citizens. Even though American news media, gosh darn it, get off there. American news media likes to tell America, it's just you horrible Americans. Everything is going great in the world. All the other countries are kumbaya. It's you horrid Americans. Yet if you go watch any media, especially if you have a VPN, watch any media around the world, or X, boy, Elon screwed the globalists with that, buying up X. By the way, I think I saw Jim Patterson in there. Hey, Jim. But yeah, hey, by the way, there is one of those people I know from the UK. How you doing, Urbexy? But no, Lucid, you're right. Costs are too high. And Donald Trump's comment about the first job of a government being to serve its citizens over illegal aliens or even new immigrants. The citizenry there before, the citizenry there for decades, the citizenry there for generations who've built for, sweated for, bled for, and built a country should always be first. And that does not just go for America and the moron Democrats that sat there. That goes for the UK government, the French government. That goes for the Zimbabwe government. They should be working for their people first. And Trump just totally let them into it. And honestly showed America and the world what a lot of leftists think when it comes to the citizenry under them. Okay. Sorry, I'm checking a held message. Now that one, it won't let me pull up and even look at. Oof. Oh, so how you doing tonight, Urbexy? And Lee? But no, it's just a couple things. I mean, hey, I'm going to ask a question of the people from the UK that are here or outside of America. If you saw it, what did you think of Trump's speech? Whether or not you like the guy or not, he masterfully led the Democrats into a couple traps and really made them look horrible on the whole serving American citizens first, on the trans children issue. There's a couple things. He really led them into a trap, and wow, it's not pretty. But what did you guys overseas think of that? Sorry, my wife is distracting me. You're fine. Why are you apologizing? She's feeding our critters. Pretty much you have to, or you get eaten around here yourself. They'll come after us. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just always curious what everybody else overseas thinks. I know a friend of mine from New Zealand contacted me. He thought Trump did a really good job, and really the Democrats, because of blind hatred or corruption or a both, pretty much his ideas, it's both. It's a mix. Walked into it so heavily. He pretty much pointed out to everybody, American that's paying attention, maybe not hyperbole, Democrats may be the actual enemy of the people. And from what's going on in the UK, I think a lot of people in the UK are waking up to who the enemy of the people is over there. I'm actually hoping more Americans pay attention to the UK and see that as a warning that we can't get there. Like Middle East, I'm affected by Trump decisions. The guy is so honest. He is Brutally honest, yes. And I can understand in the Middle East how you're affected by his decisions. And honestly, I don't agree with them all. I don't want us involved in. I am actually more approving of Trump being involved in Mexico, Canada, the Central America, Venezuela, whatever, than Ukraine and countries clear around the world. I mean, really clear around the world. Yeah, a lot of people, Lucid, a lot of people who don't even care for some of Trump's policies or him himself do like how he deals with things. Why? Because I think people around the world like something we don't get enough of from our leaders, our politicians, whatever else, honesty. Or not even honesty sometimes, just be able to understand an answer. You ask most politicians or leaders or whatever a question, you can listen for 20 minutes through a rambling answer and you never get an actual, true, understandable answer to your question, or they will look at you and just go, I refuse to answer that, which they shouldn't be able to if they work for us. So 100%. He is brutally honest. And Lee, yes, thank you for telling Lucid. Thank you for being honest. Lucid came in here. We haven't, I think, made a comment or two I didn't totally agree with, or maybe partially, but Lucid's been damn honest. And Lucid, I don't even know if Lucid's left, right, center, don't care. Lucid is in here just like a lot of you guys, actually discussing. We'll push back, and notice you're not being attacked if you just disagree. When Lee the other day was having a problem with Jimmy, which I was having the same problem some of the other in chat were, is because Jimmy would throw out hyperbole and not answer direct questions. Move the goalpost, throw out hyperbole. So that was a problem. And yeah, like Lee said at the bottom, respectful and cohesive. And hey, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm the cleanest mouthed, most respectful dude, but I still like discussion. First Avenger, like Captain America. Damn right. Get real, he literally F's up everything he touches. That's borderline. I don't agree. After 4 years of Joe Biden? Come on. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's be honest. And I actually feel bad for Joe Biden. Joe Biden was used. He was used by the deep state. He was used by the Democrats. He was used by his wife. Joe Biden should actually, not to be mean about it, be pitied. He barely had a clue what was going on. They drugged him up, stood him up there, pushed him out in front when he shouldn't have been there. And it's going to come out, just like with Reagan. Reagan had Alzheimer's. His wife was doing a lot of the running of the country last part of his term. We're going to find out. You mark my words, 20 years, 30 years from now, it's going to come out that Joe Biden was not the president. But First Avenger, you and I can disagree. That one's borderline, but I haven't seen Donald Trump F up everything. Can I have arguments about things he's done, I think, either not strong enough, backwards? Yeah. Jim, Democrats are just 2 steps away from being a terrorist group. You know what, Jim? I would say some of them. I would say some of them. Jim is not totally wrong. Democrats have groomed, with the help of the media and some in our government, been grooming this leftist insanity you see out there now for like 11, 12 years. There are people now that were 10 to 13 years old when Trump came on the scene, and suddenly they flipped Trump from being loved by millions to hated by millions like that. Trump was never racist until he ran for president. Keep that in mind. He was well-liked, loved, respected. In rap songs, he was having lunch with lefties. So watch that. But Democrats have been grooming these people. And now they've got their foot soldiers out there. That's 11 to 12 years of brainwashed people who were, let's say, 12 years old, are now 24. They are crazy. And they see booga, booga, booga. Orange Cheeto is evil. Orange Cheeto. Just like Abigail Spamberger the other day. They can't even get their own crap straight. Donald Trump loves Putin. Everything he does is bowing to Putin. And Donald Trump's about to attack Iran. Iran and Russia are allies. This is stupid. Maduro, Venezuela, was an ally of Russia. My God, explain to me how Trump is helping them. All right. Lee, you better not be talking to me. You better be talking to Lucid. Thank you for your cohesion and open dialogue. I have neither. I have no cohesion. Open dialogue, okay, yeah. I'll give you that one, Paul. Hopefully. Hopefully. But cohesion, no. Jim, I was being kind. But no, not all Democrats are like that. There are some. Hell, even Fetterman can be a little more moderate. But there is an arm of the Democrats that are absolutely, well, they're the ones that openly say, if we get back in power, there's going to be Nuremberg type trials. We're going to take them out. We're going to have concentration camps. Everybody's got to pay. That's scary shit. That is what they believe. They are nutso. Your fingers doesn't look the same. Sorry, I got a dog. Hi, buddy. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my big dog has got a ball. Some agree, some don't. Trump gonna make a lot of changes. Some go bad, some like tariffs. Now, here's what I will say. Lose it. I don't know how you feel about the tariffs. I can't quite get it from your comment there. For America, the tariffs are good. In short term, yes. Trump said it during the whole candidacy when he was running during the election. There's going to be some early pain. But we've got to make changes now before our system 30, 40 years from now totally collapses. The tariffs are a net good for American citizens in America. Are they a net good for the Middle East, UK, Israel, a lot of other countries, China? No, they shouldn't be. Once again, Donald Trump's and our government's whole purview should be taking care of American citizens and America. And unfortunately, whether some people want to face it or not, many countries have been unfairly tariffing our goods and using that tariff money to support all the extra health care and everything else, including not paying their money into NATO and UN while we've been doing it. They'll tariff our goods sometimes up to 30%. But somehow, if we tariff them at even 15%, we're the bad guys. We should be able to protect our workers, our industry, just as much as any other country. So some people do not like that. And I admit, it's not going to be good for a lot of guys over there in other countries. That is up to your country to work with. And I think Trump's being really fair about it. Trump could actually do reciprocal tariffs. 100% he's not. He knows that we are such a powerhouse that we can absorb some of it. Let's say a country's tariffing one of our goods. Let's say cars, 20%. This is actually, you can look it up. There is a few that are. He goes into us, we're going to tariff your cars 15%. That country has a cow, an absolute meltdown, but they're still getting a 5% advantage. The very fact that Trump doesn't just look at him and go, yeah, you hit us 20, we're going to hit you 20. That would still be fair. So Trump is being good about it. Jay Watterson, how you doing, buddy? Jay Watterson is one likes to hold my feet to the fire. Very heavily. So Urbexy, who is, I'm not throwing you under the bus, Urbexy is UK. Quite funny, had political drop by trying to get by my vote. Drop by trying to get my vote. Oh no. Visey leaves before he needs to test country's health care. Can't stand Scott. Well, Urbexy, also I hear there are kind of TV license law enforcement people going around. Heel versus Babyface was talking about it. Prior to tariffs are what ran this nation. Actually, tariffs did run America. Lee, yeah, tariffs. We didn't have a lot of the taxes we have now. A lot of the fees. Sorry, I can't remember which court ruled that at the time. A fee isn't a tax. It's a tax by any other name is still a tax, idiots. I'm talking to the court, not calling you guys idiots. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of the taxes we have now because we ran off tariffs. Now, our country's so big, I don't think we can run 100% off tariffs ever again. But our tariffs should be enough to, one, make our trade fair or more fair. We'll take a little bit of a hit, guys. But it should get our industry back and going. That's what Trump is doing. He's trying to tell everybody, bring your stuff back here. Let's put some Americans to work and bring some investment here. And that is his job. Other countries may not like it, but he's not there to work for France, UK, Afghanistan or anything else, or Israel. And Jay Watterson may smile right now, but hey, I'm not an Israel, oh my God, they're amazing supporter. There's a lot of things I think we do with Israel that I'd say, do your own stuff, dude. The tariffs should be able to reduce our tax load. That money coming in could be used to augment our Social Security system that both Democrats and Republicans have stolen from. Our Social Security system would still be very strong and robust if it hadn't been moved to the general fund and both parties been raiding it. If they weren't raiding it, it would still be there. All right, Urbexy asked me a question. Oh, God, Urbexy's going to throw me into this. Dang you, man. What do you think of that piece Candace Owens put out, The Bride of Charlie? She's just chasing short-lived cash cow, then will vanish. Yeah. Oh, Candace has, she's a mixture of gone knucking futs. Well, she's always been a lefty. She's a grifter. Her first foray into the internet, you guys can look this up, was a website, a leftist website meant to help cancel people for disagreeing with lefties. Look that up. She's always been a lefty. She's a hater. I also believe she is a spurned lover. She is mad that Charlie Kirk didn't want her, wanted Erica. She's also mad the people of TPUSA would love Charlie Kirk over her. Candace Owens wants a following. Candace Owens wants a cult-like following. She wants to be a cult leader. And she could never get that TPUSA. They spurned her. No, what is that? Hell hath no fury like a woman spurned. And she's spurned by them, so she's trying to burn it down. If she loved Charlie Kirk so much, she wouldn't be doing shit to burn it down. Her insanity with Charlie's wife is crazy. And she's not the only one. There are people that have glommed onto her grift. Wolves and Finances. A channel I used to follow called Heavy Duty Country has gone from half of his pre, Erica Kirk and TPUSA insanity to glomming onto the Candace Owens, where almost every other video of a guy called Heavy Duty Country, just like a cowboy with firearms, is now about Erica Kirk is a robot. Erica Kirk is this. I'm not sure if he actually said that one. Oh my God, the insanity of TPUSA, and oh, they're screwing Charlie Kirk's legacy. Not exactly good for Heavy Duty Country. So, Candace is nuts. I used to follow Candace, but it was a very short period. Something started ringing in the back of my head. The way she acted, she was very arrogant, and she was saying and doing things where I was like, something isn't right. And I backed off, and about a year later is when she started having problems with the Daily Wire, and well, I'm not a big fan of all them, trust me. Oof. And then this whole leftist grift of hers. And by the way, she's done a lot of things that she may get sued into a mud hole for. And even her cultist followers, she has her cult. She has what she's always wanted. She's got her cult of the mostly true crime, loving women, and seems some cowboys. Sorry, I'm nothing. So Heavy Duty Country, if you don't want to get pissy with me, fine. But I'm a nothing. You had a very good channel before you went this way. First Avenger. Now we can also look at the manufacturing jobs. If you want to do that, let's go. Because a lot of the job cuts that have happened over the last year were already said they were going to be done by companies before the election. Look at all the bankruptcies. Red Lobster, Hooters. Look at the businesses that are no longer with us. Most of those bankruptcies, which the bankruptcies started during the Biden administration, and when they're finished during the Trump administrations, when the cuts have to take place to go with the bankruptcies and the restructurings. All that started under the Biden administration, and now Trump is unfortunately having to live with it. So, yeah. So, you can go with that, but if you want to be honest enough to admit that the last 4 years of Biden caused it. Also, Trump did say we're going to have some pain from some of this, but short-term pain, long-term growth. So you take the two, add them together, I'm not upset about it because I paid attention to what Donald Trump said and saw it coming. So did most Trump supporters. Jay Watterson, yeah, Riker was down here at the ball. All right, Lucid. Well, what if the changes Trump wants, won't go his way? It happens. It happens. I mean, dude, this is how you can tell, dad. I have no idea. I swear I talk like a hippie sometimes. It's a grew up in the country thing. If you want to know where I grew up, in the area, I grew up out past Edgington, Illinois, out in the middle of nowhere. The problem with Trump we're having right now, a lot more would be going better in America if Republicans would do their job. Republicans busted their ass, screamed and yelled, give us the power. We'll help fix America. We'll help Trump. They're not. Donald Trump is fighting everybody. That's why I like to say I'm not a Democrat or Republican. In fact, I call what they do theater. Uniparty theater. They don't want to do anything. Remember, till Donald Trump, Republicans weren't really that against immigration either. Illegal immigration, I mean. They like the cheap labor. Democrats want them for the votes and to vacuum their floors. And the Republicans, the business owners of the Republicans, like that cheap labor. So, unfortunately, we got to put a lot of that on the Republican Party, who are sitting with their thumbs in their butts. I'll also include the Democrats, though, when 80% of all Americans across the board want voter ID. And when Trump called that out the other day about wanting voter ID, and they just sat there sour-faced. Trump's right. If 80% of all Americans want it, you work for us. Pass it. They won't, means they do want to cheat. Means they want every single illegally obtained vote possible. That's what it means. So, Lucid, we'd be doing a lot better if Congress would get off their ass and put some of this into law and try to help Trump, but they're not. I hope that covered it, Lucid, but I don't know. Do you think America has been paying tariffs to other nations over 60 years? Yeah, we've been paying high tariffs to other nations. Our government officials, once again, both parties, have allowed I liked Bill Clinton as a president, except for NAFTA. NAFTA was stupid. I think it was Ross Perot at the time said, listen to the sucking sound of jobs leaving America. So that took away a lot of our jobs. And then our government sold us down the river, letting any other country tariff us at 20, 30%, 15, 20, 30%, while we were only tariffing 2 to 7%. That is insanity. Okay. First Avenger. Tariffs are an indirect tax on consumers. I don't want to say something too derogatory, but I am an honest sort of jackass. Heavy on the jackass. That is one of the most ignorant, dumbest lefty statements out there. It's an indirect tax on consumers. Then let me ask you a question. This is an honest question, First Avenger, and I know I'm behind on chat, but I value everybody's comment. When it's a real one, and your comment is a real one, even though it's a bad one. That's one of the dumbest lefty tropes. What is your idea to fix the tariff imbalance? I'm asking. What are we going to do? Crawl on hands and knees again and go, please, please, let us tariff you at almost the level you tariff us. Stop stealing our jobs. Stop using slave labor in actual jails. People who you lock in, Foxconn, lock into buildings, have nets along the buildings, and people suicide out of there. What is your idea to fix the problem? Every leftist I've ever heard says it. It's an indirect tax. Some of my stuff is going to go up in price. Yeah, but also it'll bring jobs back, raise the income of Americans. Maybe not right away, but will raise the income of Americans to offset the higher prices. Bring back job demand. Remove a lot of illegals stealing the jobs. You always want more available workers than jobs. Or I get that backwards. Once again, I'm a dingus. Or it's the other way around. And you want more jobs than available workers. That's it. Duh, see? Don't give me cohesive and honest. Got it backwards. You always want more jobs than workers. Right now, with all the illegals, it's the other way around. So wages are depressed. If you have less workers than jobs, they got to pay the workers good money to do them. We need that. Same with housing. And tariffs are not an indirect tax. They do directly affect my wallet, your wallet. But nobody ever says on the left what their idea is to fix it. Oh my God, we just need to let them keep screwing us. Keep letting them tariff us at 20% because I need my cheap Chinese goods at a super low price. Donald Trump always said there may be some pain from this, but long term is what he's looking at. So, First Avenger, I'm not trying to pee on you. I really am. I'm engaging with your comment, bud. And honestly, you are making comments, whether I agree with them or not. So, thank you. Let's see. Lucid, I don't know much about USA, but I understand politics. Well, you're ahead of me then. Because I don't understand politics, because I could never be a politician. I don't know, too blunt, too honest. I almost make Donald Trump look a little fuzzy. Because if I was in office, I would have had this immigration thing handled by now. Oh yeah, that's ballsy to say, but I would have had it handled. It'd have been over almost by now. All right. Yeah, I know, guys, I get behind, but I really value chat. I don't think I'm some amazing, intelligent guy. Half the reason I'm here, yeah, to hear myself talk, but also to hear you guys. It'll make more of an equal exchange with nations that seem to want to backing out, contribute nothing. Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing. Fair trade. Everybody always, I hear lefties use that all the time. Fair trade. Fair trade. But God forbid we actually tariff the same amount they're doing us. Actually, oh my God, how dare we actually have fair trade? So ignorant. Once again, Donald Trump is still, look at all the tariffs he's done. They do not usually equal most of the countries who've worked with him. We are still taking a hit. He understands that we are still able to take some of a hit to have good trade. But yeah, Democrats don't really like fair trade. They like to sell America out. Lucid. Yes, for real. Like Israel taking too much advantage of the USA. 100%. 100%. And I think a lot of Americans are waking up to it. It's no different than any other country. America is tired of too much BS in Israel, too much BS in the Middle East in general. Americans are, honestly, more people I run into have a lot less issues with Venezuela, Mexico, Central America, even South America, dealing with in our hemisphere, around us and our country. We've been drawn into too much crap, and our government, our neocons, our military industrial complex, whatever it is, like it too much. I think Americans want out, so excuse me. Why not money goes to the good of the country? Yeah, there should be for every country. But the problem is, and I am going to kind of crap on mostly Europe here for a while. Europeans like to talk to Americans like, ha, you don't even have national health care. You wouldn't either. If America's military wasn't supporting you, if America wasn't supporting the overwhelming majority of the money into the NATO and UN, the overwhelming amount of the troops, the equipment in there, if we're not helping your war over in Ukraine, that's your backyard. All this stuff they have. And then they're screwing us on tariffs. When they're tariffing us 3-1, yeah. So I think America's tired of that, tired of supporting it while we go into debt to let other countries get things we don't have. First you reflect what was said. Tariffs ran this nation prior. I hope I didn't get that wrongly. If I got it wrongly, I apologize. Or are you saying to somebody else? Oh, you were talking at the First Avenger. Okay, yes. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, I thought I got yours right. And I do like how, yeah, see, there's some good questions here. And good answers and stuff. Even First Avenger, if I get down to another comment, I want to see what he said to my response. Let's see. Question 6864. Scorned? I don't know what that means, bud. But welcome. Lucid, I always asking myself, like, the money goes to Israel and things USA. Send them. See, I don't mind if America sells weaponry to anybody. I don't mind, but we shouldn't be giving anything. Israel has a budget surplus. Why are we giving them a single penny? Why should we give them a single cent? We have a budget deficit. They have a surplus. Let them spend. Let them spend some of that Jewish money. But yeah, USA have been bleeding money because of Israel. We've been bleeding money because of a lot of conflicts we're involved in. I mean, Joe Biden gave $96 billion in weaponry to the Taliban. Ready to go, Democrats. Stanley Pelkak? I'm sorry if I get that wrong. Candace is a very disturbed woman. Needs psychiatric help in a serious way. You know, Stanley, you're either right, but Lee also said, I think it was Lee, said that also she's chasing that click, chasing the bucks. Get that short-term, huge money. She may lose it all if she gets sued. She's made actionable comments. But Candace, my belief is somewhere between what you're saying and I believe what Lee was saying about the clicks. I think she wanted a cult. She wants the clicks and the money, but also another reason. She's always wanted to be a cult leader. She wanted to be head of TPUSA. They spurned her. I think it's a mix. And welcome, by the way. Jay Watterson, TPUSA keeps giving Candace ammunition. I see, Jay Watterson, you and I disagree on that to a point. While I think they're not running everything perfect, they're not doing 99.6% of anything Candace says. Or heavy-duty country, or wolves and finances. They are flailing without the laws of the guy who made them, built them, and a lot of them don't have, I'm sorry, a lot of them together don't have the talent, the drive, the personability, and even they want to put it this way, the connection with God and wanting to better everybody and talk to everybody that Charlie Kirk had. It's tough. There are people that are, to use a Doctor Who-ism, where there are points fixed in time. Charlie Kirk may have been one of those people, not quite fixed in time, but a super, I have to use it that way, a point in time. He was a point in time that 1,000 other people can't replace. And that was a big loss. And I think they're flailing. But Jay Watterson, you and I don't always agree on that. But you see more conspiracies than even I do. Candace is gone knuckin' futs. I mean, come on. Charlie Kirk is a time traveler, Jay Watterson. Erica Kirk is a man. Come on. Come on. Everybody's a man to her. Macron's wife is a man. Come on. You can only go so far. I'll go half Alex Jones. How's that? We've been bleeding because of rampant extortion and embezzlement. Yeah. Lee is right. When we found between 10 and 19 billion of fraud in Minnesota alone. Minnesota's not a huge, high populous state. Imagine Illinois, New York, California. Big dog. Oh, big dog on couch. Sorry. Boink. Hey, Riker boy. He's bored. But yeah, you're right. Imagine the billions that's gone on in all the other 49 states. And I'm even including the Republican states. They're thieves too. I just personally believe the bigger thieves right now are the Democrats. It's mostly thieving. Most of the fraud, the waste is going on in Democrat states. Feel free to try to prove me wrong. But it's a fact. But yeah, the billions. Imagine gaining back, 10 to 20 billion from one. Also, I've said this before. The Somalis in Minnesota, I think they're partially being used. They were the launderers for the Democrats. They know the Somalis have taken out millions. They know the Somalis have bank accounts worth millions. Problem is, none of it comes close to the 10 billion. I'll cut at the bottom end of the section. Not even close to the 10 billion missing. Where'd it go? In the Democrats' pockets. They're laundering. All right, Rebecca, I think Erica Kirk is a bit screwy. Well, yeah. We can all think that, but there's no way she's a time traveler, transvestite from... I'm bordering on the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Oh my God. Did I just nail it? Is Candace Owens actually fooling everybody by using talking points from the Rocky Horror Picture Show? I'm a time-traveling transvestite vampire from the planet Trans, you know what you will. Holy crap. A lot of what she's espousing is Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff. Sorry, I'm holding this thing. Holy crap. Mission to Mars just to get home. Heavy Duty Country's gone off the rails. I stopped watching. So did I. I'm not going to lie. I'm still subscribed to him so I can see his posts and see what he's talking about. And he's gone duck and futz. He went from a channel that Jim Patterson, I'm with you. You know, back, I used to watch him. And he hitched his wagon, no pun intended, to this insanity. While Jay Watterson may agree with a lot of it, I'll bet, come on, even you, Jay Watterson, got to look at a lot of it and go, oh, yeah, no. Yeah, come on, Charlie Kirk's time traveler. Erica Kirk is a roving transsexual vampire, or transvestite vampire, or whatever. Come on. The dude. Yeah, Heavy Duty Country's gone nuck and futz. Wolves and Finances may also get sued. Current job losses are due to AI. I agree with the AI as part of it. AI is part of it, but also when you bring in illegal aliens or even too many legal immigrants, it affects your numbers. And then when you've got, and honestly, I'm not going to be a two-faced jerkosaurus here. Trump putting tariffs on other countries will affect the workforce in other countries. You will see a pullback and some job losses. But it's the bad thing is you've kind of caused it yourselves by trading unfairly. I'm not picking on Rebecca here, blowing it at him. He knows I'm talking to other countries out there. You put it on yourselves by putting the weight on us unfairly. And now when we get even close-ish to fair trade, it's going to damage those countries because they're not set up for fair trade. They're set up for uneven trade. All right, so let's see here. Eric has been through so much kind of spectacular. Yeah, I mean, hell, I'm a weirdo. Look what's behind me. I got an original Star Trek II Wrath of Khan poster that was given to me by the manager of the old Showcase Cinemas in Milan. All 4 of these were in the Milan Showcase Cinemas at one time. I'm sitting with my old Star Wars toy, so I'm weird. But, I mean, just because we think she's weird, or ODFS, she's trying to raise 2 kids, dealing with the death. She's dealing with the public execution of her husband. An execution she's had to see, her kids will have to see, her family's had to see. The whole world saw Charlie Kirk's life ended. That is, you want to call her weird, that is not something to just go, she's that, no big deal. That's a huge thing. AI becomes suddenly economically unviable. It's going to destroy employment. Bexy knows what I do. I work on cars. Good luck AI trying to take my job because it ain't reaching into the places I am or doing the work I do. Now, I will say I do use AI to help me with diagnostics. So for me, AI has become a good tool, but my job isn't going anywhere for a good while. Gonna need these human hands and gooey body parts and twisty, pinchy things to get in to fix these things. But AI can be a good tool. But AI is going to phase out a lot of jobs. There's going to be a lot of internet security jobs, stuff like that. Hang on real quick. I got to yell at my wife. No, not yell at her. Did you see that chicken? I do. All right. Just want to let her know I had dinner was done. I had it done before I got on. AI is going to decimate some jobs. A lot of internet jobs. The internet security, the programming, certain jobs they're going to go away. It's going to be tough. And even YouTube videos and stuff. But I think Tim Pool black pills over all the, what he calls AI slop videos out there. And some of them are decent. But I think interaction, there is no AI, at least probably in my lifetime or yours, that's going to be able to interact quite like this. Be quite as real, connect, and come up with horrible responses to your amazing questions. So I think humanity will adapt. Remember, throughout time, technology, and I do think AI is a bigger threat than the ones I'm about to name. Automobiles and computers and everything else were going to end us. It did end certain jobs, but then it opened others. So I don't know. Rebecca, I do see it as a big, scary thing, especially when people are building these crazy automatons so far. But if these robots are building get really AI'd, dude, come on. Does nobody watch The Terminator? My gosh. Or what's it with Will Smith? That movie. My gosh, is nobody watching these movies? Don't do this. I don't want the T-800 coming to my house. I can see that too. Elon Musk presents the new T-800. Screw you. You might as well make these things look like Arnold. Seems like anyone is just suing each other. Nothing for the USA. I agree with most of that, Jim, but what do you do? If people are doing actionable things against you and hurting your business, hurting TPUSA, hurting any business you may have, or personally doing things that can damage you professionally and privately, you should sue them over it. The problem is letting people get away with stupid shite has been a problem for a long time. All right, let's see here. Everyone wants a quick fix. I do agree with that, though. And there are too many lawsuits in America. A lot of times there are lawsuits that judges should go, screw you, get out of here. The stream delay is crazy. Oh, if you're thinking there's a stream delay on your questions, it's not. It's me. I'm way behind in the chat because I'm reading every comment. We're getting messages before he is. No, I'm way behind. I am way behind. There's an arrow at the bottom of my screen you can't see, and I'm scrolling right now trying to catch up. I don't want to avoid our comments, but I may have to miss a few to get anywhere near where you guys are. There's a more transparent way tariffs could have been implemented. Zero sales tax on U.S.-made products. That's not a tariff, though. That's not a tariff. And once again, why should we allow you to tariff, let's say, I'm just example, a car we send over there 20%, but we tariff yours 4%. There is no amount of sales tax going to make up for that. And it was almost that bad, especially with like Germany. Germany was nailing us with not only tariffs, but then they had all these import fees they added on, which Trump has also nixed them with them and said, don't you dare. Where our tariff and import fees in total would come up to maybe 3 to 5%. Yeah, so that is insane. There's no amount of sales tax break you're going to give. And then why give sales tax breaks to people to buy the product sending here cheaper? That's not helping us. The trade must be fair. If you do a sales tax thing, you're still putting it on the government, not getting any income off it. In fact, you're hurting it worse. Not only are we not getting the tariff, but now our government must lose money to tell people to try to buy the stuff coming from American goods. That's not a good idea. That's not good for my country. Maybe good for yours, not good for mine. All right, lag. Let him catch up. I'm getting there. I'm trying to scan through right now. Andrew, how's it going, Andrew? Just woke up. Andrew also is UK. Planet Earth. I actually kind of like that handle. Message retracted, but hey, how's it going? Good conversation. God bless all. Thank you very much, Lucid. And yes, thank you very much for joining in. I won't be on a lot longer. Besides, my voice won't handle it, but when I talk to the wife and tell her everything that got done today and didn't get done. Yeah, I'm slow, guys. And it's my own fault because I'm reading every comment. Steven's Sir about I don't eat dude, Stephen. Deport. I agree. I would have had the illegals out of here by now. Jim Patterson, I seldom see Candace anymore. Don't miss her. She's had her 15 minutes of fame with you and me. There's a lot of people out there. She's got her cult following. She's got the true crime, heavy duty country cult following. I think a lot of people are waking up. Some people are trying to call her out for insanity. I'm about 10 minutes behind. Holy crap. Okay. Should I just skip? I don't want to skip anybody. I'm so bad at this. When I had my last channel, when I had a lot of people on live stream, I would get so far behind everybody and make fun of me because I value your comments. I'm way behind. Lee just lays it out for me. Okay, I'm going to skip forward and catch up. Boom. Oh, that was a bad idea. All right, I just scrolled ahead. All right, I'm at the last couple of comments. Jim Patterson, you fight and call names during election, then you're supposed to work together. I'm old school, I guess. Jim Patterson, they used to kind of fight. Well, the thing is, the fights used to be less. I didn't pay attention to politics at all until George Jr. Then the stink got so bad, me and every guy at my shop were like, okay, this is wrong, this stinks. But I think they used to be a lot more, there used to be a lot, the line used to be a little bit more centered than it is now. There were lines they didn't cross. Now it's Nazi, they're going to kill everybody, put everybody in chains, bring back slaveries. It's worse. That's the problem, Jim. But yeah, they would just, it was politicking then. Now it's absolute hyperbolic insanity. That's the difference. And Urbexy, yep. See, I kind of caught up. But then I've watched Russian Parliament. I will say, when people, I actually respect a lot of the Congress, parliaments, governments of other countries when they do have fights and get angry. It shows a realism, whether you like it or not, maybe a real belief, worry, and anger, or trying to care enough about their country. In UK Parliament, sorry, Rebecca said, I think yours is a little better than our Congress. But our United States Congress, I will throw under the bus. I'd like to see an actual fist fight in there. I know it sounds bad, because it may be shown they actually believe in something enough to get angry. Not fake angry for TV. Real, knock down, drag out, I got a shiner, angry over something that they perceive as a wrongdoing. You don't see that. Our Congress is kind of a joke. Lyon's Fix-It Shop. Oh my God, dude. We have the same name, yeah? Mine is without an S. But dude, your name is epic. I owned an auto repair shop for a while, so that would almost be like a Lyon's Fix-It Shop. Nice, dude. Welcome. If you can trace your family lineage to Farquharson Castle, I believe, or Bexy's probably laughing at my pronunciation. If you even know what that is and can trace your lineage to that, we may be related. He got me closer. Shut up, Lee. God dang it. Whoa, he's being tough. Andrew, how you doing this morning, bud? Well, yeah, is it morning? No, it's night. Oh, late. You're past midnight now. Let's see. Ahmed, how's it going? Trying to catch. Okay, now this is the last comment I've got. Lyon's Fix-It Shop. So tell me how far that's behind if YouTube really does have a lag. That, yeah, family name from where? I'd have to ask my dad. He's chased our lineage throughout America. By the way, here, let me ask you a question, Lyon's Fix-It Shop. Are you related to any, I don't want to give away too much family stuff, but the American Civil War, certain family members on the side of the North, and maybe even high school textbooks. One of them was a general and some others. If you can, then we're probably related in a way. 5:58 your time, Lee. Mine is 6:59 here. So you're mountain time. 3 seconds. Okay. So, Urbexy, our House of Commons, the red line is historic throwback. Your sword wasn't supposed to cross the line unless you wanted a duel. Hey, I'll tell you what, I think your House of Commons has more argument, honest argument at times, than our Congress. I think you guys have got a huge problem with people selling you out, but I think our Congress is I think it's theater. I think half of it's uniparty. When the American public agrees on something to 80+%, and they don't get it done, that sounds like uniparty. Sounds like they don't even work for us anymore. It doesn't. But if they want to get something done for them, done. Says a lot. Nancy versus John Kennedy. Pay-per-view. Oh. Which, are you talking, Jim, which John Kennedy? Are you talking about the Louisiana guy? The guy that I didn't know was that huge, so I looked him up. Kennedy from Louisiana. From Lyon in France means the people of Lyon. Yes, my family's name does trace through France. Part of it. But then Scottish. Yes, Scottish. Scottish Highlands. Yeah. Dude, you may actually be related distantly. Holy crap. So yeah, maybe distant related. Sorry, I'm holding the phone so bad. I keep looking at the chat. But no, honestly, I'm not sure what else to talk about. If anybody has any ideas. That's crazy. You know, my dad has got, him and my mom went through our family. My dad has traced our family clear back to the Roman era. It's crazy as crap. I wish his health had stayed up long enough. He could have gone to Scotland and seen the old family type castle and some of the stomping grounds over there, but his health just won't handle it anymore. So, so guys, I think I'm going to hop off here. My voice is going. I don't know if I'm going to do another live stream tonight on the main computer or not. Do me a favor. I know I don't ask enough. I get this from everybody. Do me a favor. Please give us a thumb up for the stream. If you want to join, that's great. I would say I need to earn your subscription. If you come back a second time and I can make you laugh, cry, happy, mad, sad, whatever, then please join. And do never feel you have to totally agree with me here. Jay Watterson and I disagree a good amount. Lee and I have even minor ones. Urbexy calls me out. Hell, Jay Watterson sends me stuff going, you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong. He got me the other day on Thomas Massey. Of course, the same day I make the video going on Massey, Massey goes out in Congress and drops names. I couldn't have known about that one, Jay Watterson. No. But feel free to chat. Yeah, Lions Fix the Shop. So would I. Thank you very much, Lee, and thank you again, Lee. You've really come back in. Now I do miss Jimmy though. Where's our Jimmy? Cohesion. Well, thanks, man. Dude, I strive for it, but I have what they call a multi-track brain, and I'm arguing with myself at all times. I got 8 different things going, and sometimes I jump from track to track. But thank you. Got my catalytic converter stolen while I was in the store. What? What? Dude, I didn't know they were still stealing. Oh, no. Right at the top of my screen right now, I just got a notification from Heavy Duty Country. I don't think he's going off a TPUSA this time. It said something about going off on Dan Bongino and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe is he going to give a TPUSA one or Erica Kirk a break? We'll see. People still stealing cats. Yeah. Dude, I did not know there were still a lot of cat thefts going on. Hey, as a mechanic, let me give you a little insight into one of the things that pisses a mechanic off almost more than anything in the shop. Makes you twitch a little. When people go, yeah, I have a problem with my Cadillac converter or my tire rods. Catalytic converter, tie rods. Make a mechanic just twitch a little. Like I said, if you ever go up to a guy, you walk into a shop, go, hey, can you work on my car? But the guy's doing this. Somebody just called him on the phone and called it their Cadillac converter. All right, guys. Please hit thumbs up. Thank you very much. I know sitting in the couch, I'm a little shaky here, but thank you very much for stopping in. The mobile streams I can do at a whim. Bottom ball joints. Here, find that blinker fluid. Actually, we used to make a joke in the day of, yeah, your muffler fluid is low. And some of you out there right now know what the problem is with that. Now on newer diesels, they have exhaust fluid or muffler fluid called urea, and you have to fill that once in a while to keep the emissions up on diesels. But so far, they haven't got the taillight fluid, and I have not seen muffler bearings. Another joke from automotive. Blinker fluid. We'll see. Jay Watterson, don't say that too loud because they're gonna do it. You watch. Thank you very much, Lee. Yes, please hit the like button at least. Thank you, Lions Fix It Shop. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Urbexy, Jay Watterson, as always. And thank you very much, Jay Watterson, as I commented back to you. Thank you very much for for educating me. Thanks. You know, he's a jerk for doing it the same day I made the video. Give me a can of idiot. You know my favorite one? People have their oil cap upside down, call it, well, I think my car takes 710. Turn the oil cap over. That's oil. What? That's oil upside down, 710. It takes 710 oil. Says it on the cap. No, turn your cap over. Yep, DEF fluid. Yep, the DEF. My scanner does a DEF reset. All right, Jim Patterson, have a good one, buddy. By the way, go watch some other people. Go watch whatever your flavor is. Tim Pool, D-Day Cobra. Go watch Salty Cracker. Go check out some other people and bring your comments to them. They deserve it too. A lot more than I do. Bucket of Stout. Oh, no. All right, guys. What is that? Or a cousin refers to dash lights as emojis. Oh, my God. I've only had that once. Me and a friend were like, what? Yeah, the emojis on my dash? We were shocked. We'd never heard of that. God, you guys keep pulling me back in. Bucket of steam. Yeah. Well, our favorite one, one of my guys I worked with, he always said when somebody hooks the battery up, they let the smoke, hooks the battery up backwards, they let the smoke out. Yeah, Lee, the emoji thing. Yeah, when somebody said that to me, Urbexy's not joking. I've only heard it once. But me and this guy were trying to figure out what the hell this person's talking about. I even put it on speaker. And this person, yeah, this emoji is doing this. Like, your emoji? What are you looking at? And it's like, oh, you mean the dash warning lights? Yeah, emojis. And it was a 17 to 19-year-old girl. My engine management emoji came on. Yeah. And she wasn't describing it properly. If she described the emoji, I would have figured out it was an engine light or a ABS light in advance. But yeah, I actually heard somebody call it their abs light and ask me, my car has abs? Yes, it's not stomach. It's anti-lock braking system. We hear a lot of it. Oh, the Lasman Gold. There you go, Jim Patterson. Good one. That is worthwhile. Uh-oh, message held for review. Let's see what this is. Tell them, Anita, why is that hidden, YouTube? That's a perfectly fine comment. Weird. All right, guys. It was a 45-year-old Mormon that said, really? You had a 45-year-old call it the emojis? Please tell me she was joking. Please tell me. Yeah, the abs light, but this person, Lee, asked me, I didn't know my car had stomach muscles. And they wanted me to try to explain the anatomy of that to them. It's not what it means. Of course, people also think my scanner just automatically, magically tells me everything wrong with the car, that I don't do any work anymore. Trying to figure out the problems. There's no diagnostics anymore. I've actually had people say that. Okay, last thing I'll say and we'll get off here. I've actually had people, now Urbexy's probably already nodding at me. I've had people actually say this phrase to me. Well, can't you just hook it up to your magic machine and it'll tell you what's wrong in my car? And I get that twitch again. I'm like, that's not how it works. The magic machine. My magic machine. Because I'm just a dumb mechanic. Landon's favorite dashboard emoji, the flip-flop. Dude, you watch. Some new cars, you're going to be able to program your lights and your buttons to do stuff like that. The machine gives clues. Yes, Urbexy, but I've actually heard the phrase, can't you just hook it up to your magic machine and it just tells you everything that's wrong? What is that guy in the toilet? That's your seatbelt. I've heard that one, Jim. This was a younger, I think he was college age guy, and he's like, why is it, this looks like I have this person on a toilet thing. Yes. Radiator fluid in the oil reservoir. Oh. Our favorite one is when somebody makes a mistake, fills a gasoline car with diesel, and didn't notice before they tried to drive the car. So then they've messed up the whole fuel system. Family Guy. Radiator fluid in the oil reservoir. That does happen too, and vice versa. All right, guys, I do have to get off here. I'm going to go say hi to the wife. Thank you very much. Please thumbs up. Share the channel out. Share the stream out. See if we can lure mine and Lee's friend Jimmy back in here. I don't know about that. And even to those of you guys out there that are more left, if you notice, if you have good comments when we disagree, but we will discuss openly and will not openly deride you. Okay, I might. I'm a jerk, so thank you very much. Voxel. Voxel's GM, by the way. Sorry. Stop pulling me back in. You know how to get me back in. Stop. Thanks, Rebexy. Have a good one, buddy. I'm out of here. Talk to you later, guys. Thank you very much. If I can do a stream later, I will post a pre-stream warning or post. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Appreciate you showing up. Appreciate the comments. You guys are epic and fun, and sorry about the chat I missed because I'm too slow and want to answer every chat. Talk to you later.